Not tonight is one of the most misunderstood sentences in marriage. And most of the time, it was never actually about sex. In this video, we're going to unpack what those two words usually mean and why emotional connection has to come before physical connection and what men and women each tend to need to feel close. If you've ever heard "not tonight" and felt rejected, this video offers a different, more accurate way for you to hear it. You'll learn what "not tonight" usually means underneath the surface. You'll learn the 5 needs men and women each tend to have side by side, and you'll learn why emotional connection has to come first and physical connection follows. And you'll learn what to say instead of taking it personally next time. "Not tonight" is one of the most misunderstood sentences or frustrating sentences in marriage, because most of the time it was never actually about having or not having sex. And let me show you what it's usually about instead. Hi, I'm Diane, and if you've ever heard those 2 words and felt rejected, I want to offer you a different way to hear them, or at least to process them. "Not tonight" is rarely a verdict on you. It's usually information about what happened before tonight. When one spouse says "not tonight," the other spouse often hears they're not wanted. But that's rarely the actual message underneath. More often, it means I don't really feel emotionally ready or connected right now. Or I'm carrying something today I haven't processed yet. I'm emotional. Or I simply don't feel close enough to you to get in this moment to feel physically open. And none of that is rejection, but all of it's information. And information can be worked with. Rejection just gets defended against. The shift from hearing rejection to hearing information changes the entire conversation that follows. Research on intimacy points to a consistent pattern in what men and women each tend to need to feel close. For many men, the needs often include feeling wanted, a feeling of being connected, feeling responsiveness from their partner, occasionally being pursued, and feeling affirmed. For many women, the needs often include feeling affirmed, also feeling connected, non-sexual touch, a sense of spiritual closeness, and romance. Notice what's shared between both lists. Connection and affirmation show up for both, and that overlap matters more than the differences. It tells us that underneath the different starting points, both spouses are longing for the same core things: to feel wanted, to feel connected, to feel like their spouse is truly with them. Here's the order that tends to actually work. Emotional connection first, and then physical connection will follow. When couples try to reverse that order, expecting physical closeness to create emotional closeness, it rarely holds. It might work once, but it won't sustain a marriage over the years. Emotional safety is what makes physical vulnerability feel possible in the first place. And without it, physical intimacy can start to feel like a performance instead of a connection. With it, physical intimacy becomes the natural next step of something that's already happening emotionally. So what actually builds that emotional connection before the day ever ends? A real conversation about how someone's day actually went, not just fine. How was yours? How about checking in emotionally, not just logistically? Asking how someone feels, not just what's on the schedule. Physical affection that has no expectation attached to it. A hug, a hand on the shoulder, nothing more. Small moments of appreciation spoken out loud instead of assumed. None of this guarantees intimacy at night, but it often removes the obstacles standing in the way. So the next time that you hear "not tonight," here's a different way to respond. Instead of, "You never want me," try this. "Is there something on your heart tonight that I can help carry?" Instead of going quiet and withdrawing, try staying warm and present, even without this expectation. Of course you're disappointed. Of course you're disappointed. But this response builds the very safety that makes closeness more likely next time. Reacting with hurt often creates more distance. Responding with curiosity often creates more closeness. "Not tonight" is almost never the real conversation. The real conversation is underneath it, waiting for someone to ask instead of assume. Emotional connection first, physical connection follows, and that order rarely fails. If this changed how you respond the next time you hear Not Tonight, subscribe, stay with us, share it with your spouse. I can't wait to see you in the next video.